how would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Baron, which is an entrepreneur, and his main business is focused in selling nuts, dry fruit, seeds, and mushrooms on the internet. So, an online business. So, Baron, tell us what are the 5 steps that you recommend entrepreneurs in order to sell the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So I can easily give you the 5 steps because I use them to get where I am today. It is a growing business, but more importantly, it is something that is in the news all the time. There's always something to talk about. You know, I find that businesses that don't have a lot to talk about, the entrepreneur loses their electricity. They lose their ability to talk excitedly about their business. And so it could be real estate, it could be finance. It just seems so dry. So the first step is find something that you are interested in, that you could talk about forever. You could talk about it all day, all night. You just have a love of the product itself, right? And you have a real feeling that you can share that with other people. That would be my first. The second is try and find something that is niche. Try and find something that is unique and different. So when people talk about it, when you come up and you are in a dinner party and you're talking about it, people feel a certain way about it. Love it or hate it, they understand what you're doing. They feel a closeness to it. And with health food, everyone gets it, right? Everyone has had an almond or a walnut or pistachio. So I get to share that world with them, right? A lot of people kind of discount me based on the way I look or who I am. And you walk into a place and you start talking about the history of cashews or how cashews get to your plate.
Oh,
And all of
wow.
a sudden, the people warm up. You start talking about the history of pineapples and people warm up, you know? And so it's a great icebreaker. You want a business that you can connect with people, right? Which probably leads to the next thing, which is have something that needs a small amount to start up. Don't go all in right from the get.
100%.
You need something that, you can screw up, you can change, you can alter as time goes on. It can evolve and mix. When I started my business, I had people with me. Yeah, 5 people.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
Well, they were all minority stakeholders in the
Oh,
business, but it made everything so much easier
ah,
because
wow.
could
Glad to
vote on
hear.
you could vote on everything. Is this a good logo? Is this a good tactic? Is this good money to spend? You've got like a close little group of friends who can give you their opinions, who are invested in the business. I've never been a fan of owning 100% of anything, not giving away so much at the jump, but giving small percentages away so that you can still maintain control but have people to talk to.
That's
Business
very good. That's very good tip.
E-commerce business gets so lonely. It can be such a
Absolutely.
lonely experience running an e-commerce business. It's incredible because I get to
It's
go.
only you alone with the money and the laptop. Yeah.
I mean, you end up staring into your computer screen and you just don't have any anchor, right? You can screen any country in the world, you know, uh, which is an amazing freedom, but that freedom also leads to a lack of an anchor, and an anchor is the best way to put it. Um, So, you don't want that anchor to be money for sure. For me, it's delivering fresh food. So I guess that'll be the fourth thing, which is like
Mm-hmm.
a healthy product. I started my business in New Jersey and Philadelphia, and it was always about how fast can you get food to the customer, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And they would start asking me things like, well, what makes your food better than other food? And I'm like, well, I don't really focus on the quality of the food. I focus on the speed. Because when you're talking about food, the closer you can get from the tree or where it grows to get to your door.
Oh,
Brazil nuts,
wow.
Brazil nuts grow in Brazil, right? And if
Mhm.
they could send you a 25-pound box from Brazil, that would be the freshest Brazil nut you've probably ever had, unless you were in Brazil,
Wow.
you know? And so, you have to figure out how to differentiate yourself and have customers come back. So almonds are grown in California. If I had empty boxes waiting in California for food to be put into it when people purchase, that would be the ideal.
Wow.
And that's kind of what brought me to
Very
being,
impressive.
yeah. I mean, it's just an insight, right? And it came from working in other food businesses, you know, where it was all about packaging and making 8-ounce bags and millions of 8-ounce bags, and then having them sit around until they sell. And then they just sit there in a warehouse, and then you kind of get them going. But the thing about selling large sizes is the farmers want to sell them. The farmers want to sell a 25-pound box. If they could sell them from the field, they would all day. I think,
Wow.
you know, I don't think they like dealing with supermarkets and big containers and everything. E-commerce one day becomes as dominant as it should be, and people become comfortable with it, then I think that's a future, honestly, you know, that you'll be able to order food from the farmers. People do it for meat, people do it for all kinds of vegetables, but there was no one doing it for nuts and dried fruit and seeds. So that's where I found my business.
Wow. I think it's a fantastic idea. Great one. Yeah. I
Did I get
consume a
all
lot. They
five?
are amazing.
Did I get all five or did I miss one?
No, you're on the right track. You're very good. And we're gonna
Okay.
talk about
So now what's your favorite nuts?
oh, my favorite nuts. This is could be walnuts.
Little
Yeah.
brain.
But I yeah, look like a brain. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I daily have almonds, walnuts, peanuts,
Mhm.
pistachios, cashews. Yeah, I am a big fan of the product. I'll tell you why, because have good couple of good things. You see, they have with that source of protein, vegetable protein, which is very good for
Oh,
the
yeah.
body, and
And the
also
brain.
good fat, and also good fat as well. So and taking them more like a medicine. Like I actually love them. I had them with Greek yogurt, and it's amazing. But I take them daily because first as a medicine, and second as a taste, and I like it. I know I am they're great products for your health. Is my understanding. You are the expert, so you know even more than me about this. Um, let's talk about this. Let's talk about quality pro. Let's talk about have a pro that actually because you can do good and make money at the same time, right? Nothing wrong. So whoever sells sweets or cakes or pastry, however, those products are highly addictive and they can have a large amount of sugar, which is very addictive, and flour and carbs, right? And unless that now there are some signs you have seen some cakes that they are using no added sugars, and the industry is evolving. The actual way that the products are presented, yeah, they taste amazing, but they are not good for health, and that's the truth, right? The large
Yep.
percentage of United States, the USA citizens are overweight, and in London, United Kingdom, we have the same problem, right? Whether that doesn't mean that with the nuts you have to be careful because they do have fat. Yeah, if you eat a lot, could be could problem. Yeah, I've been told that only a fish a day. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
little bit naughty, so I take two fish a day.
Two
Yeah,
fists once a day.
yeah, I have one, but I'm taking two. I love them. I like them. So no, of a mix of all
Mix.
of
Yep.
them, but mainly it's a mix that 50% are walnut because again, I've been is my own that walnut have a large content of antioxidants and things like that.
Mhm.
But anyway, you tell me, Baron, why you decide that this business? Let's talk about social responsibility, about having a business that you can make money, you can do good, and I kind of like it what I'm hearing from you because you are the person that go to the farmer and deliver to the door. It's only you in the middle. Whether the situation that we see out there in the food industry is that the farmer is making very little, the consumer paying a lot of money because there are 20 people in the middle, and these have effect in the cost and in the quality of the product. So tell us a little bit about social responsibility, and why you decided to have this type of business, like do good, make money, have a product that actually contribute with the health of the people.
I bring up two things that I found most gratifying about my business. So the first thing is that farmers tell me what the price is.
Wow.
So I never get to define what the price is. I don't do any sales, I don't do any coupons. They can see the price on the website and they can see the price that I'm taking, right? And it's that simple. I make the same price
Wow.
for a pumpkin seed that I do for a walnut, right?
And
There's
the
no
farmers made the price. Wow, that's very impressive.
even price. So I never tell them how to define the price, right? And what ends up happening is we are always cheaper than the competitors because they have so many steps, warehouses, difficulty with storage and systems, right? That they have so many products. Like a nuts.com has 10,000, 20,000 products. Mostly
Wow.
candy. I have 50 products now.
How many products?
I have 60 products now.
60.
I just added 10 with the mushrooms.
60 is still a lot. A lot of products, right?
Well, I mean, some of it is like an almond that's sliced or roasted or seasoned,
Mm,
the variation of a. So I only have 37 farmers that I work with that make all of those 60 products, right?
mm.
Um, I've debated, off everything that has a chemical or roasting in it. My website would be half as big. I'd for the price
Exactly.
product.
Exactly. So you go into this type of product that you don't to make sure that that is for the consumer and also
Yep.
help the local farmer. Yeah. And but then we have the other people. Then we have the other people there that go there and prefer to go and buy something cheaper, and then at the end of the day is a lot of chemicals, and at the end of
Mhm.
the day you buying cheaper, you saving money, but the product is not good for you, is highest quality, and on top of that the farmer is not making money, the seller is not making money, 20 people in the middle making money.
For
And
sure.
so that's a little bit more about educating the consumer. Now that we have in Eden, United States, that American product first, or let's support the local farmer and whatever. But then when you
True.
put the price, then you put the price
Yeah.
to support the local economy or that local farmer, and we live in a global world, so it could be local farmer in Brazil or whatever. Now people say, no, I prefer to pay less and get it cheaper without knowing that it's cheaper for each reason. Maybe it have a lot of chemicals and have been for lasting. So tell me
That
your
was my
view again. Social responsibility. Let's keep going with this. Yeah.
that was my second point, which is you don't want to talk negatively about your competitors, right? And in my case, my competitors are the entire food system,
Hmm.
right? And so you're talking about candy bars and an almond that's covered in chocolate or chemicals or roasting, certain seed oils. Like you get this feeling of that the competitors are trying to hurt the customers, but you don't want to talk about that when you're doing your marketing. It leads you to a path that is very negative. It becomes hard to
I
sleep
agree with
or
you.
it's like
To stay in your path. Yeah.
show, you don't want to talk about other shows. You might accept that they're out there, but you don't want to just talk about the other people who run shows on speakers or, leaders of other kinds, right? Like you want to focus on the people that are right here in front of you, the people doing good, you know,
Mm.
you can get access to. And so that's how I feel. Like I don't want to speak about even like a Nabisco or a McDonald's or
Mhm.
like the biggest of food companies that cause, I mean, in a way, the greatest of harm to some. Um, but I think that that is just a level of education that people are going to get better at
Yeah,
as the year goes.
that's my question. How expensive is to educate the client? That's the thing, because you have for your client, there is I'm glad that you told this point because you were telling me, Harry, it's amazing. Don't take you seriously, people don't look at you, but then when you start to tell them the story about cashews and where they're coming from and how they're harvested, everybody all of a sudden are around you, and this is a process that you actually have to educate the consumer in order to buy it, because in the end of the day the consumer can see, well, almonds, I can buy almonds to bottom for X amount, yeah,
Yeah,
and I can buy almonds for another source. I'm not gonna mention any supermarket, but for another source
but
that
I welcome it, right?
definitely a different price, because have been mass produced, and also again it has so much marketing around the product that if it's covered in chocolate or it's covered in sugar, if it's covered this is you can sell more because people, you're gonna hook people into the product. And a lot of companies, they know that you put a little bit of sugar, flour, and whatever you do, then the client can get hooked and addicted to your product, because flour and sugar is the addictive product.
But you don't want to talk badly about people who are running businesses where millions
Exactly.
are
No, no,
putting.
no, no, no. But it's how expensive is the client? How expensive is to have an opinion? Anyway, it's gonna be people that buy those ones because this is what prefer, right?
Well, I
But
would say there's two reasons that I do it. One is so I can talk about it when I'm on interviews, and I can see the history of the cashew or the pistachio or the walnut. Two, I blog about them. And that way Google gets to see it. Google gets to give me those views and those customers. I get a very small amount of people purchasing from reading the history of cashews. They don't necessarily come and purchase cashews, but they increase the viewership of the website overall. The more they go,
absolutely.
the more they read. And I have about a third of my customers repeat every month. They buy new products from me every month because my
Wow.
fresh, right? And
And
so
the
I don't,
consumer knows. The consumer knows.
the consumer knows. I don't have to educate them at all. I don't have to educate them what an apricot is, or what a dried pineapple is, or what
Oh, you can
what.
educate it how healthy.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't make those like
No, no.
claims.
Sorry,
But
healthy no. Healthy
a
no.
healthy, yes,
High
but
quality. You can educate them in what is a high quality product, right?
that is true. That I think that what happens is that we so many bad products that when you taste a good product, like a delicious fresh dried blueberry, that I can blow mind with it. A fresh
With
hazelnut.
this, I agree 100% because you go out and you buy fruits and you buy this and you buy that, and then you go to a farmer's market and you buy the same thing, and you find a huge difference. I'm like, you're like, what kind of avocado I've been buying from from this supermarket that doesn't taste like this one, right?
Even
Nothing
almonds.
wrong with the avocado in the supermarket. Some of them are good. Some, you know what I mean, but. That
Harry,
people know when
Harry,
there are growth, right?
Harry, you love almonds, right? You love almonds. You said you eat almonds almost every
Yes,
day,
and walnuts
right?
daily.
So daily. So been eaten. In the time of Socrates, Socrates did nothing but eat walnuts, right? He would
Mhm.
talk about them all the time to increase his brain. I can think better if I eat walnuts. But almonds were poisonous before about 400 years ago.
Wow,
No one ate almonds before 400 years ago. They were actually used in wars. Ninjas would put them on the tips of arrows and on swords
wow,
and almond oil because they were poisonous. And so that was before the invention of the gun. Before rifles and guns were really invented, they used almonds as a poison on their swords and arrows,
wow! I
right?
didn't know that.
And so you are in an incredible place where you get to eat almonds every day. California makes so much. I want to say 95% of the world's almonds. Like almost every almond you've ever eaten came from California.
Really? Wow! This I didn't know.
A very small percent come from like the other countries, and and Iran or Spain is a big one, but they're tiny. Like thing is California, and in California they really took the almond, which used to be poisonous, and now we eat it all the time. Most of our almonds are put on boats right from California and sent out. We don't even eat them all. They're it's worldwide. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about a candy bar. I want to just focus on almonds and the future of almonds, you know,
Mhm.
or talk about almond farmers or how almonds get to your plate. I love talking about the history, but it's really interesting. We live in a world where we're eating foods that we've never eaten before, you know?
And then, when it comes to food, right, we have to be very selective because we need to we cannot eat everything, right? But so when we eat something, make sure that have the most nutrient value as as possible, and also to don't damage the environment. So
Do you exercise, Harry? Do
second,
you get do you exercise?
of course, yeah, yeah, I do. I play a lot of tennis,
Play a lot
and
of tennis, so you're probably eating those calories before you go out for a game and
yeah.
throwing in those carbs just to make sure you've got like you don't run out of gas in the tank while you're chasing those
Yeah,
balls around. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll, said I just need to keep them under control because I love them so much. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I had that fish, one fish per day. I'm having a little bit more than that, maybe
As long as
two
you're
fish.
playing tennis,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. I'll play tennis, and I. So, Baron, tell us about an online entrepreneur. You were talking about come have a lot of benefits. You can travel, you can do your business any place in the world. However, I said that kind of loneliness come with it. So, how you deal with the challenge? So, tell us the good, the bad, and the an online entrepreneur.
So the benefit is that you get to go wherever you're needed, right? You can benefit to food shows or things that involve a lot of food. You can donate your time to feed homeless people or get into charities where you're feeding people that are sick, cancer patients or people that have regular everyday conditions, chronic conditions, diabetes, irritable bowel syndrome. There's a number of conditions that are helped by eating raw foods, right? Like healthy raw foods. In that, it's extremely gratifying. For me, feeding homeless people, it just fits into me being a benefit to real humans, right? It takes it away from the screen and it brings it into the real life, like into the third dimension, and just really you get to be there. So I don't want to chase things that are just online. The real opportunities are in person. So you got to be able to get on a plane and chase those opportunities to find good press, good connections, good chances to help people. And I could name off a few of those charities, but I just I that part of it, right?
And I think it's
The
amazing. When you give to charity, you are like I said, sometimes you receive 10 times more.
and that has been my business all the time. The more that I give, the more I receive.
This I
And
can
also
tell.
it gives me more to speak about, gives me more to connect with humans on, right? It's a business, right?
Mm.
And people talk about that in regards to religion or regards to influencing or being a leader. Like there's things you do because you're just passionate about it. Like you just can get your hands around it and say like this is me. And doing this kind of work, I can put my stamp on it and say this is me. And then there's new things that come up that you can chase. Like I'm working on mushrooms right now. And so I'll be
They are
selling those.
amazing also.
Yeah.
I
And
had a
then
lot of protein. I amazing also.
so as we eat less animals, we'll be eating more mushrooms, right?
Hmm.
As medicine, of course. And that's why I got into it because what they were doing was making powders and those little tinctures, right? It's all
Hmm.
powders and liquid. But people want the whole mushroom. They want
Absolutely,
mushroom.
absolutely.
And that's
And
what helps.
mushroom with a little bit of olive oil and garlic, amazing. Very healthy and good for your body. There is an Spanish this. It's
Fungi.
Yeah, no, the name is Jones al ajillos, which is mushrooms with garlic.
Hmm.
This is a very traditional Spanish dish that, and the mushrooms are amazing. They're another great superfood. So yeah, we need to them this type of they are not just food; they are superfood, in my
Yeah.
opinion. The mushrooms. But again, Baron, I see that you are
Well,
the type of entrepreneur. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
what is important is that I built the nuts and dried fruit website over years, and then I was able to copy it into mushrooms overnight,
Ah,
right?
wow,
So I spent so much time building that I was able to easily copy it so it could just be the same website and everything I already knew and all the people that I work with and everyone has a system and the system's in place and just copy and paste it, right?
amazing,
And so now I get to work with, mushroom farmers and
great.
it's a whole different experience to
They are in
really
US all over the world.
only in the United States.
Wow,
So
amazing.
the nuts and dried fruit and seeds are 70% in America from American farmers,
Wow.
and 30% comes from other countries all over the world, really. I mean, South, I mean, just every continent. Yeah.
So, Baron, but I see that we need more of this type of entrepreneur that you are. We call it Mary Diamond and Lily created a movement together, conscious entrepreneur, and I think you are a great example of a global conscious entrepreneur because people think that being a conscious entrepreneur is only to I don't know to put the to recycle the plastic bottle, but it's a little bit more than that. It's about helping your local community, helping the farmers, helping the economy of your own country because everything stays at home, right? And then contribute to charity, help your local community, your local charity. So we need more entrepreneurs like you. That there are 360 conscious entrepreneurs. What I'm saying, you can do good and make money at the same time. Nothing wrong to do good and make money. So the issue is the following, right? The other day, and when I bought it from the farmers market, yeah,
Yeah.
and they told me, "Wow, it's expensive," I told it, of course, it's expensive. Is made in United States. It's expensive, but this money goes to this local farmer. And so I was telling with the person, it's a good quality. It's a better quality than everything that you have found. Oh yeah, the quality is amazing. If this product tastes like any other product that you trade, no, it have a spectacular taste, right?
Yeah.
So of course it's expensive because if it's not expensive, what do you want? Do you want that the people that they're collecting this in the farm they don't make good money? Do you think that would be fair with them? Do you think that we fair to this person selling this? So this is the big that we have as a consumer, right? And
Yep.
and in United States, in United Kingdom, actually United Kingdom, where I live, is they're way ahead. They are very the United States, I have to say, in terms of consumer from local farmers. In London, you will go to a supermarket, will find a meat with the British flag there. It will say made in Scotland or in United Kingdom or whatever, and people literally will buy this meat, even though sometimes it's a little bit more expensive than the other one, right?
Well,
Whether I'm finding United States a huge resistance that products American made is have high quality everything, but you know what? Too expensive. I'll go somewhere else that I don't know where it's coming from, always inside whatever, and then I pay less money. So
Harry,
what?
I'll
What? Yeah.
tell you what it is. So I have been hearing that in the UK have been replacing meat in a lot
Over
of
there,
ways.
yeah, it's a big
You know, they
movement.
have the big, they have the
Uh,
big mushroom,
you can find burgers. You can find a portion of the supermarkets that they have even products attached to this. Again, why? And it's about I don't know. It's about educating the consumer, but in my opinion, also government should help to educate the consumer, right? because educating the consumer is expensive. So you want an economy to grow, you want a
I don't
country
have
to
to,
develop.
hold on. I'm going to stop you right there. I don't have to educate the consumer. When the
No,
consumer comes to the website, they
I
already
get it.
have,
They already been educated. No, I'm
they're
by
already
saying
aware.
it,
Yeah.
but I'm saying in wider terms, right?
Hmm.
Because the I think that the consumer, right?
Hmm.
They need to, like I said, a little bit more of education in the wider range will get it for everybody. They're gonna have better products in the supermarkets, okay? Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, the consumer is who dictates. If they keep buying a cheap product with low quality that affect their health and consume the product, there will always be this product will be supply, right? Whether if little by little they learn that what it's not an overpriced product, but it's a fair price for this product for the quality, and actually I'm getting, like I said, a product that is more like amazing than actually a food inside. And I think that it can be a very good progress. Number one for the of their own country, because it's gonna generate more jobs. It's gonna generate more, and of course, the more that these people consume this product, the cost actually will go down because it's more volume, right? So it's about to having the so in your opinion, right? You do your bit because you write your blog, and people fell in love with the product and everything. I think that the young generation, little by little, they don't want a planet that is fully polluted. They already know that they keep eating cannot keep eating meat as we used to be.
For
It's not
sure.
sustainable anymore. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
they know it, the young generation, because of the problems and that we have, and a lot of alternative food has emerged. Like I said, in United Kingdom, a portion of the supermarket they are just putting for plant-based food, right? They're not even cheaper; they're expensive. A burger made with mushrooms and vegetables will be even more expensive sometimes than an actually beef burger, right? But when you read that burger, the content that it have in protein, nutrients, and good stuff for your body is amazing, right? So
Well, as you can
yeah,
imagine, my business, I expect food prices to go up. You know, I expect that it's going to be more expensive to buy the food that you love just in the future. I mean, I see supermarkets getting smaller and the food that's healthier getting less and less to be a part of a supermarket. They say I think only 20% of a supermarket is healthy, is actually considered healthy food.
wow,
80, 80% is just nonsense,
there you go, there you
right?
go. And this is and how you have to have a healthy population. I have to be careful also, in the supermarket when you go there. You have to be careful because you have a lot
Gotta
of
cover
temptations.
your
Yeah, you
you
have
gotta
a lot
cover
of
your eyes.
temptations. Yes, very very distracting.
And they really color everything. They want you to get it
Yeah,
the way
when
they make
I
eye level, stuff like that. And
yeah,
then they put lower level so kids can grab it.
mhm.
A lot of
and
smart people,
and
a lot
then
of
when you're
smart,
gonna pay, then when I'm gonna pay, it's full of fruit and vegetables, and everybody's looking at me weird. They say, "What's wrong with this guy? You eat this? You eat and especially we do a lot of juice. So
Mhm.
sometimes with celery, right? And so in order to make a juice, you need you need a lot of this. And sometimes I'm going with all this celery and everything and all these carrots and whatever, and everybody's kind of looking at me like weird, like what's wrong with this guy? Why you eating this? So, Baron, I want to talk about because the online has a big competitor, which is Amazon. Are you selling your products in Amazon?
Yeah. I sell a very small amount in Amazon. I sell a lot more in Walmart.com. So
Wow.
people that go to Walmart.com, I'm
So
I'm
they can
talking
get it. They can get it
online.
from. They can get it from your own website, but they also can get it from Walmart, from Amazon. That correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Under
And
your brand, yeah. What's the name?
wholesale nuts and dried fruit.
That's the brand, wholesale nuts and
Not
dry fruit.
dried fruit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so what happens is that people go to Walmart expecting to buy food more than
absolutely,
Amazon shopping. They just shop for everything. Everything is
100%.
looking all over. Plus, I'm not Prime. So people, if they're in Prime, I think one of every six Americans is a Prime member. So, they're only looking in Prime, and I can never be Prime. I can
Because it
never
cannot, because it cannot be delivered with the speed of Prime because the farmer, right?
exactly.
If you
So to
have good, if you want
deliver
good
fast food,
quality, you have to wait. I remember I used to own a restaurant Brick Lane in London,
like
and
that, but
in a Spanish
Prime,
restaurant.
Harry,
Yeah.
Prime means the food has to sit at their warehouse. So
Mhm.
Amazon has 1,000 warehouses, but it has to sit at their warehouse. I'm not going to leave fresh food sitting in an Amazon warehouse. That's no way to deliver customers the best product. And my business
100%.
partners all agree. We've tried every kind of way, but it never works because it'll sit there, then it will sell
No, no,
later.
no, no, no. This is not your brand. This is not what you.
Yeah, that's not what I do.
Yeah, this is not your brand. And again, we're talking about educating the consumer a lot. Yeah. If you want something good quality, you have to wait. I remember, I opened a restaurant in Brick Lane in London. Yeah, and it
Mhm.
was in Spanish tapas, and people wanted the food fast. And I said, look, this is a Spanish place. We cook fresh food here. This is no a burger place that you just get the food in a minute. If you want quality and fresh, you have to wait.
Yeah.
Uh, and
I mean,
and and
fast food
this is
has
how it
been
works.
will benefit our society.
In Spain, you go to a restaurant and to, I mean, to a normal bar, yeah, and everybody's a thing, but not that the food come fast. Everybody knows that whatever they order, they're cooking fresh behind, and this takes time. They no nobody's in a hurry because they eating fresh all the time, right? Whether again the consumer, you want fast, 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 or you want fast, fast, fast. Forget about good quality product. It doesn't really work well like this.
Less ingredients, better ingredients.
Exactly, high quality. So, but I'm talking about building a brand, right? Because one thing is to sell one product, right? The other thing is to build in a brand, and then for Walmart and Amazon, well, they can do your fulfillment. But when people buy from your website, you need to do it yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And how from your own website direct to consumer versus Walmart and Amazon, right? How much is the percentage? Like kind of 50-50, 60-40, or how much is coming from your own website?
So I would say about half of my sales, maybe closer to 60%, come from my website.
Wow,
Maybe about 5%
really?
comes from Amazon and 20% comes from Walmart. Like
Wow,
it's
that's
so
very
much
impressive.
more.
The website is doing
Very much
amazing.
more. Well, yeah, because the website is built around people searching for bulk and wholesale food,
Mhm.
specifically the food ingredients. Like I am serving a very niche audience that already knows what they want to purchase. So I have a 1% conversion rate on my website.
Wow, that's very, very impressive.
Yeah. From
Wow, my
the blog,
goodness.
the homepage to any page, whatever, I have one blog post that talks about how I had diabetes when I started the company. And that was kind of one of the things that brought me to start the company.
Oh, wow, that's
Type 2
amazing.
diabetes, right? I earned it from eating sugar, right?
Really? Wow.
And so people reference that blog post when they call me. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to the guy who wrote that blog post and, order up some boxes.
That's amazing.
So eBay people like to buy. Etsy I sell a few boxes on, but it's been incredible. eBay's been incredible.
Wow.
And people are looking for deals, so they buy 25-pound boxes, which is great. And half of the people that purchase, so they're startups,
B2B.
B2B. So they're starting their own granola companies. They're starting in cake companies and catering. They're doing events. Maybe they're bridezillas that want to do their own wedding, right?
Mhm.
My favorite is vegan bridezillas. My personal favorite customer.
Say again, which one?
Vegan
Vegan.
bride.
I get it. I get it. Wow.
Also vegan survivalists. Gluten-free survivalists. People that are
Oh,
celiac.
yeah.
I mean, none of my stuff has any wheat in it. there's always like a place for people with very specific diseases and
Hmm.
conditions.
In
They
the
are just-
previous podcast, we interviewed with 500 millionaires in this broadcast. We had an interview with the woman that she was the person who invented a cauliflower pizza.
incredible.
She on top $1 billion market out of this because now people are doing a lot of product with cauliflower, and it was because of that she was trying to help the people that they couldn't consume flour, right? That they was allergic, and start this cauliflower pizza. So imagine how creative that, this last vegetable in the list, because this cauliflower is like white, nobody buys this, nobody cares about this. and, and
Cauliflower might be the most
y-
popular ingredient
yes,
in America.
yeah. And out of the most less popular ingredient that nobody gets, she makes something that and also open an industry, right? So
Do you have any
which
other
have one last one.
I love
Which
it.
how if people are in love with our conversation and they really want to your product, how people can find you, how this process work. Can I have a discount if I buy more as a wholesale? Do you have retail and wholesale price? How it works in your website?
There's only one price.
Very
There's only
good.
one. It's you go to the website, and if you can find a better price, you go after it, right? I stand by all my products. If someone doesn't like something, they can return it. I almost get no returns. I get less than 1% returns.
Well, you're getting that from the farm. It is fresh, so
Yeah, I mean, people will even call me, and they might even complain, and they're just like, I just wanted to talk to you. And then they'll keep the box. They're like, yeah, but I wanted these apricots anyway. I love these conversations.
yeah.
Love talking to customers. It's great fun. You know, it's awesome to learn what they're into and what, brought them to the site, and what, their own health journey. Like, I love that stuff. I should start recording it. I should start turning it into a show like you'd have. Come to the site.
That would
But,
be that would be great. So how people can find you? What's the website?
So it is wholesalenutsandDriedFruit.com.
Wow.
And it's a little long,
Yeah,
but it's because I wanted to reach wholesale nut, bulk nut buyers and
it's
wholesale
working.
bulk dried fruit buyers. So they come to the site, they find what they're looking for, and they are very happy.
It's exactly what it says in the thing, right? A little bit long, but
Exactly
it
what-
definitely is working for you. I'm so impressed that 60% of your sales come directly from the website. I have some online entrepreneurs that they're in the opposite way. They have the main sales from Amazon, they kind of a little bit worry, because I always tell them that the worst number that you have in business is one. You cannot have one source only that you can sell the product, and if you can develop your own direct, could be at the beginning maybe 10%, maybe 15%, but you can build your brand, and eventually the only thing that you can be safe somehow is with your direct to consumer, because they're buying through your website, they know who you are, and they're getting directly from you, right?
Harry, I can tell you that my business is focused on SEO, right? Someone
I think you're doing great. Yeah, you're doing
they know
spectacular.
They know they love raisins. They know they love walnuts, right? They know they love pineapple. So all I have to do is get in that top 3, and all they have to do is check the price.
It's a big job. It's a big job also to get into top 3, eh?
And then everyone comes back after they check the prices from other places.
This I can guarantee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Baron. That has been amazing. And for all of following the broadcast,
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
thank you so much. For all of you following the broadcast, our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneur like Baron break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now. That's it.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.